What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Briny Lots coming to y'all with another video. And first and foremost, I want to apologize for my absence. I've had a lot going on in my personal life. However, I'm back, and my goal is to film, at least once a week and post once a week. However, my real goal, my maximum is that I want to post at least 2 times a week. But either way, y'all gonna see something from me every week. And if y'all are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification button so y'all can know when your girl drops another video. Cool? Cool. With all that being said, this is part 3 of my beginner to beginner makeup series. Excuse me, my husband just walked in, so if y'all hear people coming in and out, that's either my husband or my dog. But yeah, so this is part 3 of my beginner to beginner makeup series. Part 1 was what every beginner should know about makeup. Part 2 was me basically showing y'all all the products that I was going to use in my part 3 video. Of course, that video was filmed some times ago, and a couple things have changed. Two products have changed. However, we're going to get to that when we get to those steps. And now this is part 3, which is me actually doing my everyday makeup routine for y'all. You feel me? You feel me? With that being said, this video is extremely beginner friendly because of course I'm a beginner. That's why I call it my beginner to beginner makeup series. Not a whole lot of steps. It's very time friendly because it doesn't take me long to do this. I would say at the most it maybe takes me 15 minutes to do this. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm trying to get better and faster at it every day so I can knock that down to less than 10. So yeah, I'm working on it. We working on it. And also it's very military friendly because when you're in the military, you can't wear dramatic makeup. However, you can wear makeup just like a very natural, neutral makeup, which is what you'd be surprised most people want anyway. But yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So when it comes to doing your makeup, the very first tip that I can give y'all as a beginner is you need to make sure that your skincare is good for your skin. What I mean for that is, you need to have a good skincare routine down pat because your face is your foundation. Your face is your base. If your face is dry, if it's not clean, your makeup is not going to lay good on top of your skin. So however you prep your skin in the morning, if you don't have a skincare routine, you need to get one. Also, before you do your makeup, make sure that your eyes are cleaned out. Make sure that you don't have anything in your nose because if you notice that, you're not going to ruin your makeup, but it's kind of annoying for you to be doing your makeup on fleek, and then next thing you know, you look in your nose and you got all that stuff in your nose that you probably did not notice before. You got stuff in your eyes that you did not notice. People might think that's weird, but it does happen. It is what it is. We're all human, right? So yeah, make sure that your face is completely good, clean, everything's clean, nose, eyes, all that. I personally think that when you wax your face, like for me, I wash my chin, I wash my mustache area, and I wax my eyebrows. And I really do think that that is really a great idea to make sure that your skin is as smooth as possible. If you don't like waxing, but you prefer to shave, great. But like, honestly, the less hair that you have on your face in certain areas, unless well, I say this, the less hair that you have on your face, the smoother it'll lay down. So I know you'll see, some people who have beards and stuff and do makeup, of course they skip the beard area. They're not going to lay their makeup right on top of their beard. They're going to lay it in the areas where they don't have as much hair because those areas are very smooth. So if you're putting on your makeup and you're trying to figure out ways to make your face smoother, that is definitely one thing you can do is just either shave, get a face wax, or whatever type of hair removal that you prefer. And some makeup artists actually prefer that prior to you going to them, that you shave and your face is hairless and clean and moisturizer, all that prior to you going to them. So please do keep that in mind. But it definitely helps, like, again, with just a smooth finish anyway. With all that being said, my skin, of course, is already moisturized. Like I talked about in my last video before, obviously you see that I have texture. That is going to show through my makeup. If your skin is not 100% clear, flat, scarless, or whatever the case may be, that is going to show through your makeup. You see what I'm saying? And that just is what it is. You'll see, you know, a lot of makeup artists whose makeup looks smooth and stuff. You just have to be careful because sometimes they're using filters. And I know I talked about that on my very first video. But do not get discouraged if when you put on makeup, you see texture. That's just your natural skin. I mean, you're putting products on top of skin. You see what I'm saying? There are some tricks and stuff you could do to enhance, I would say, or make your skin smoother. However, when you see people who have cystic acne and stuff like that, it's not always easy for them to do that. You see what I'm saying? However, at the end of the day, regardless of what state your skin is in, as long as your skin is clean, moisturized, and as smooth as it could possibly be, then go for it. You know, don't let anybody tell you differently. You feel me? With all that being said, and those are the tips that I have first. Oh, and also make sure that your lips are moisturized. So I'm going to be using the LA Clip Oil. And I got this from, see if I can get it out this light. And I got this from Family Dollar. It was $1, of course. Maybe $2. See. Okay, that's better. Turn it the other way. Sorry about the light. Light's kind of bright and it's definitely reflecting off of this. But this is just the LA Colors Lip Oil. And I put this on just to, you know, moisturize my lips prior to application. And another product that I want to use, and I can't remember if I mentioned this in my last video, are these little Clinique. And are these little Clinique Moisture Surge Eye. It's a 96-hour hydro filler. It's an eye concentrate. And so it's really great at moisturizing up under your eyes. This is a very, very, very silky, smooth. It's not tacky or anything like that. And it lays really nice up under the eyes. And we're going to use this to give us some moisture up under the eyes. And I got this off Amazon. I can't remember if I put this in the last video or not. But it came in 3 small packs for $14.99. You can get the bigger one. Of course, the bigger one is going to be way more expensive than this, but I just got the 3 packs for $14 something, and they've been lasting me all this time. So I just put it up under my eye, just smooth it, pat it down. And again, this adds moisture up under the eye. When it comes to under the under eyes, you want to make sure that area is moisturized, because if you don't and you try to put product on top of it, that's a good way for your concealer, foundation, whatever you put up under your eyes to crease. And we don't want that. We don't want that at all. We want everything to be smooth. And as far as a primer, I actually don't need one. However, for the sake of this video, I am going to use one. Reason why I say I don't need one is because my skincare routine, I use like thick creams, I use serums, and I got like 3 different toners that I use that my base is so moisturized and so smooth that I honestly don't even need to use a primer, which helped me save time in the morning. But again, for the sake of this video, and I know I put it on my last one, I am going to use a primer. The primer that I'm going to use is the e.l.f. Poreless Primer, which again, I've mentioned in my last video. We're not doing any reviews in this, but I will be showing y'all the products that I used. I love this primer, very moisturizing. And you just put it on your face. And you're supposed to give it about 30 seconds. And when I put on my primer, I don't really like to rub it in. I like to lightly rub it in, but I mainly like to pat it so that it sits on my skin and then my skin will absorb the rest. Especially around my mouth, because I tend to get really dry around my mouth, especially with us wearing these stupid masks. Which I am in the worst of getting a silk mask, because the ones that I got are cotton, and cotton is just not working for my skin. It doesn't dry it out, but it just makes around my mouth feel dry, even though it won't look dry. All right. All right, so this needs to sit for 30 seconds. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get the eyelashes that I'm going to be wearing. And the ones that I will be wearing are, I do want to wear my Raw by Minx eyelashes with, but I put the link to my cousin's eyelash website below. But I do need to clean these eyelashes, so that's why I'm not gonna wear them, because they have like clumps of glue on the lash line, and I need to pour that off and clean them. Cool. So I'm just gonna wear my Shein, the ones I got from Shein. All right. And while this is panned down, I just want to tell y'all real quick what I've been up to. So one of the things that I actually started doing was working with this working for this company called Pharmacy. Pharmacy is a beauty company that's based in Turkey, and they've been around for over 70 years. They're cruelty free. Quite a few of their products have natural properties in them, and a lot of their products are extremely affordable. And yeah, and so far I enjoy working with them. But yeah, I'm going to put my link so y'all can shop with your girl below. And, you know, yeah, support me. Support me in every way that you possibly can. And I support y'all. Like, I'm all about support all the way around. All right, so as far as foundation today, we're going to be using the Fit Me foundation. When I went to Texas a couple of weeks ago, I got a really nice tan. And so a lot of the foundations that I originally had are a bit too light for me, which is fine. I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm not going to go out and buy a whole bunch of foundation, because there are some things that I can do, just like some things you can do. If that happens to you, just try mixing your foundation, especially when you first start doing makeup. You buy a whole bunch of foundations. Some may be lighter, some may be too deep. However, mix them together to try to see if you can find your perfect shade. Also, another trick that we're going to do is we're going to put a deeper toned powder on top of my face as well, to just even everything out, because of course y'all can see that my face and my neck aren't too off. However, of course you can see that my face is darker than my neck, but my face matches my chest pretty well. So they got a lot going on. However, it's fine. I'm just going to mix these two colors, and I have this one in the shade Cappuccino. And then I have this one in the shade Toffee. And the thing about it is, when it comes to a finish, you need to decide, do I want a dewy finish or do I want a matte finish? Because that is going to determine how you're going to do your makeup. When we talk about dewy, we talk about you more like a more glowy, moisturized look. When we talk about matte, you want more of like a soft, just natural look. You see what I'm saying? Matte is really good for people who have oily skin, because matte products are really great in controlling oil. Just like dewy products are really great for people who have dry skin, because dewy products can be moisturizing. However, even if you're dry, can you use a matte? Yes. Do you have to be careful? Absolutely. Just like if you're oily, can you use a dewy foundation or do a dewy look? Absolutely. But do you have to be careful? Yes. A lot of the times with makeup, your skincare does matter. So you just have to know your skin and be aware of what your skin does with certain products. So I'm going to take this metal plate here that I bought from Amazon, and I washed it off and everything. And I'm just going to pour my foundation on this. You can either use a plate or you can use the back of your hand. Now, personally, I don't like going in with like pouring foundation on my face. And the reason why I don't like that is because I don't have a whole lot to cover. I normally find myself not even using all of that foundation anyway. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's just better to go in with a small amount of foundation, and then, you know, as you go, stop, assess your face, just see where you really need the coverage, instead of going in with so much, because then you get into this mode where you're putting too much foundation on your face, and, you know, your skin may or may not react well to that. You see what I'm saying? So just want to take your time when you're putting on foundation, and just, you don't have to put on a whole bunch unless you want to. If that's what you want to do, great. But you are in no way, shape, or form obligated to put on a whole bunch of foundation. Not at all. Am I going to use... Yeah, I'm going to get this brush. and I'm going to mix it. Now, I will say the only thing that I do not like about the Fit Me foundation is that it does not come with a pump. That is literally my only complaint. Other than that, I love these foundations. I really, really do. I think that they both look great on my skin. One's a deeper tone than the other, but it's fine. Now, I will say on camera, this looks very yellow. Very yellow. However, it's honestly not that yellow. It's yellow, but it's definitely not this yellow in real life. It's more of like a caramel tone. All right. And we'll stop here. And I got some on my plate, so of course I can go back and forth and add and do all that. Now, one of the great ways to lessen your time in the morning is to try to stick to using as less makeup tools as possible. So if you can stick to just using, you know, your brush to apply most of your products, do that. If you can use a beauty blender for most of your products, then do that too. I'm going to be using a beauty blender for the most part. I'm at least going to use, I would say, 3 to 4 tools, which is great because that means less cleanup. And then that just means that I'm not switching, putting stuff down, looking for them. Just try to have your makeup set up already in a way to where, you know, you'll be able to find your things when you need to find them. And everything's just together and organized. So when you do your makeup, you're not scrambling around and looking for stuff. Now, this beauty blender beauty blender, I got it from Walmart, I believe. Yeah, I got it from Walmart. I had a pink one and I really love that beauty blender, but I don't know what happened to it. My dog probably got to it because I was looking for it last night when I was cleaning all my makeup brushes, and I tell y'all, I could not find that thing at all. I do not know what happened to it. But as y'all can see, when I'm using my beauty blender, right, I'm not going in with a whole lot of foundation, first of all, and I'm lightly bouncing this across my face. You do not want to drag because then you're actually wiping the product off when you do it like this. Just bounce it on your face. We trying, like, when you use it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to stop and I'm going to assess my skin. Of course, you see the texture. We can't do anything about that. But you see that this covered my skin very well. I'm going to go in here, 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 and a couple more places. Here, 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 here. You know, just to add a little bit more coverage. That's why I love this foundation so much, because it's very buildable. Now, when it comes to foundation, you have to decide what you want. Do you want a full coverage or do you want light to medium? Either way it goes, with the light to medium, as long as you can build it up, you're good. Because this is definitely a light to medium coverage foundation. This is in no way, shape, or form a full coverage, in my opinion. And I don't have a lot to cover. So this is definitely not a full coverage foundation. Just want to make sure I get around my mouth. And I do have some slight hyperpigmentation around my mouth, but I don't really worry about it. For an everyday look, I just leave it alone. But if I'm going out or something, I just use a deeper tone foundation for that area. Yes, it looks very yellow on my skin, but we're going to neutralize everything. Don't worry about it. Like I said, it looks very yellow on camera, but it's honestly not this yellow in real life, y'all. I promise you it's not. All right. And it really don't take me this long. I'm just talking and then just make sure everything look good. And I'm a perfectionist. I'm not going to lie. I am. So, but it normally don't take me this long. I'm just talking to y'all and bouncing. But yeah. So that's it. And this is how it looks. And personally, I think my skin looks absolutely amazing. My skin looks good. Don't mind the bumps. My skin looks good. So, now we're going to go into the eyes. So, for the eyes, I'm going to use a deeper tone foundation. This is going to be my Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation plus concealer. This is Milani. This is in the shade Chestnut. And I originally bought this because it was too deep for my skin tone as well. And I use this as a color corrector. So if you have dark under eyes like I do, using a deeper tone foundation can actually help with that, or concealer can actually help with that. Especially, you know, if the product has more of like a red, orangey type of rage undertone, that has helped me a lot. So I definitely recommend, again, if you have dark circles under your eyes, use a deeper tone foundation if color corrector does not work for you. The only thing with color corrector, you have to be careful because color theory does, you know, play a part. Depending on the color that you're trying to color correct, that area, and then the color of the color corrector, you could risk changing the color of that area depending on what color foundation you're using. So just keep that in mind. And when it comes to color corrector, it doesn't take a whole lot. You don't have to use a whole lot. Even with this foundation, you don't have to use a whole lot. So I'm just gonna lightly brush that in, and I can build it up as I go. That's why I like using a beauty blender, because I can use this for multiple things. And again, it'll save me time. And this foundation isn't that deep, too deep for this makeup look. But you do want something that's a concealer or foundation that's going to blend up under the eyes really well. And I apologize when that light does that. I'm just bouncing it in, getting in between. And I have my other mirror here too, so y'all will see me looking through it periodically. And look how I just covered that up. No more dark circles. See? See. And the foundation that I used earlier, I'm just going to go right back in with that. For my everyday makeup look, I personally do not do a whole lot of highlighting because, again, this is my everyday makeup look. I bronze and stuff, but I definitely don't do a whole lot of highlighting. When I originally made this, I said I wasn't going to bronze either, but I ended up changing my mind, especially when I got this pharmacy bronzer that I'm going to be telling y'all about. The only thing with that bronzer is it's not a drugstore bronzer, but again, we'll get into that. So I'm just going to let this sit for a minute. I have a fan, but where is my fan? It's around here somewhere, but it's fine. I'm just going to let this sit for a minute, so that when I go ahead and pat it in, it actually would give me more coverage. I got that trick from Jackie just to allow your concealer to sit, because sometimes some concealers can be so freaking like liquidy that when you blend them in, it doesn't even look like you have anything under your eyes. So yeah, that's the goal. Not for that long though. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna take my mirror and then blend this up under my eyes. And again, everything looks yellow, but it's not that yellow in real life. I promise y'all, it's not. Look at that coverage. Like, I should have did a compare and contrast because, baby. And of course, you could use a brush. Like, I have a concealer brush. It gives me a lot of coverage, but I always go behind it with the beauty blender. What's in my eye? All right. Boom and boom. You see how that just smooth? We use that eye surge, how everything just smoothed up under the eyes so nicely. That coverage. So yes, color correcting up under the eyes is definitely a great thing you can do, and I'm going to continue to say it. A deeper tone foundation or concealer or even a color corrector or whatever the case may be would definitely help you a lot. Look at that. And it doesn't take a lot. Didn't use a lot. I didn't go crazy. I used the amount I needed to cover under my eyes. And I can do the same thing around my mouth too. But my mouth is actually fine. So slight hyperpigmentation. But for the most part, it's fine. Cool, cool. All right, so then the next thing we're going to get into is setting powder. So the setting powder that I'm actually going to be using is, I'm going to use my Fit Me one. For my Fit Me one, it's going to be under the eyes because you do want to keep the under eyes looking brighter as much as possible. But for the rest of my face, I'm actually going to go in with a deeper toned, um, setting powder. So when it comes to setting powder, I personally don't bake because baking is very dry for my skin. So what I like to do is I just like to push the product into my face. So when you're doing up under your eyes, you want to make sure you don't have any creases at all. Huh? Hold your face. Hold it. Oh, Lord. All right. Tap off that excess when you do that too. Because I personally don't need all that powder. And to be honest with you, you see a lot of people using powder and stuff like that. And it all depends on what works for your skin. A lot of powder doesn't, using a whole lot of powder under, for some people doesn't work on their skin. I'm one of those people. It's different for everybody, literally. I think my forehead is so big that it's causing a glare in my freaking light that is doing that. So I apologize for that. I do. This is a really, really bright light. And it only does it on this side. All right. And then we just want to get rid of the excess. All right. So whatever. And see, I had some left, right. Not going to use all of that setting power whatsoever. So then that just helps me save product. So I just pat that on back in. And then I put that back. And this is in the shade medium. And to be honest, this is slightly too light for my skin tone. So when I do buy this one again, I'm going to go a shade under. But yeah, that was a tad bit too light before I got this tan. But I was still using it because I bought it. You feel me? Is this not setting powder? Yep, this is the Face Perfecting Pressed Powder. So this is the Face Perfecting Pressed Powder from Pharmacy. I cannot remember how much this costs, but I absolutely love it. I don't think it's a drugstore price, I'll be honest with you. However, the Fit Me foundation is a really good, the Fit Me setting powder is a really good setting powder, and these are not super duper duper expensive. And they have different shade ranges. I haven't really used a whole lot of drugstore setting powders, I'll be honest. Another setting powder that I really like is Mented. I love Mented products. They are a black-owned company. And I absolutely, like I said, love, 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 love their products. Absolutely love their products. So that's another one that I do recommend. But as far as drugstore, I do think Fit Me is a good one. I would check out Milani. I would check out using face powders like this. Because this face powder, you can use this as a foundation. But you can also use it as a setting powder as well. So that helps you save money with products that you can use for more than one use. I like to take my big fluffy brush and go over this. And honestly, because I do want to calm down the yellowness of my face, I'm actually going to go in with, this is my She Glam. It came with, what is this? Because I have a setting powder. Oh, yeah, I do. I have a setting powder that I got from Shein. And so I'm going to pat this on my face to help neutralize this skin tone because it is very yellow. And just to help it match my skin tone just a little bit more. See, because I used this morning. And I think I used it in my last video too. Just to neutralize that yellow. A little bit more. And you do have to be mindful of what your makeup, how your makeup looks off camera, because sometimes your makeup can look better on camera than off camera. I'll put a little bit up under this eye just to make everything look even. Yeah, I know I said we're going to put any up under this eye, but I do want everything to look even. And I'm looking in this mirror too to make sure that nothing's too red, you know, nothing's too yellow. Because my face definitely looks a lot more yellow in this light. But if I come up close, it's definitely not that off at all. And we definitely got it to match my neck a whole lot more, because it was very, very yellow looking. So that is something that you most definitely can do. Like I mentioned earlier, use a deeper toned setting powder. And different lighting will make a difference for sure. But as you continue to, you know, experiment with different things, you'll get to know the tone of your skin. I'm still getting to know it, but I've definitely gotten better than when I first started, okay? So then next we're going to go ahead and go into blush. Actually, before we go into blush, I want to go ahead and set my face, because we put powder on our face, and I did put a little bit more powder than what I normally would. And this is my Milani Make It Do It setting spray. Absolutely, absolutely love this setting spray, y'all. Like, this setting spray is amazing. Light mist feels great on the skin, and it will give you more of that dewy finish if that's what you prefer. I do think I want to. Actually, I think my eyes look fine. Yeah, they do. I'm just going to leave them alone. I ain't going to mess with them. All right. So then now we're going to go ahead and go into blush. So the blush that I'm going to be using is, if I knock my camera down, my bad. Trying to look for this blush, my bad. Which I shouldn't. I thought that it was here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I really, really love this blush. This is the Pharmacy blush. Now, I know for a fact this retails for $9.90, so it's a little bit under $10. All the blushes retail for that much. It is an amazing blush. As you can see, it kind of has some glitter to it. It gives you a very, very natural finish. I love the color of it. This is in the shade Sugar Pink. So that'll be in the description box below. However, another one that's a good blush is what I mentioned in my last video, which is the Milani Blush. Love that blush. And that was around the same price as this one. But yeah, love, love, love this blush by Pharmacy. It's a great blush, y'all. And I mean, I don't mean to brag, but skin is looking good. My skin looks great. Like, it looks really good. So whenever you're putting on your blush, you want to keep everything up. You can smile, but you want to keep everything up. And honestly, you want to look forward so you can know, you know, how much you're putting on and if you're putting it on in the right place. And everything is, you know, depending on your face structure. I have high cheekbones, so it's easy for me to tell where I need to put my blush and all that good stuff. And actually, I did forget something. I forgot the bronzer. So I'm going to stop right here. See, look at that finish. Very, very, very beautiful blush. So now we're going to go into the bronzer. Ooh, let me see. I can open it. There we go. And I love this bronzer. This bronzer is by Pharmacy. This is not a drugstore bronzer. This bronzer retails, I want to say, for like, it's over $20. I know that, but I definitely think it's worth it. It has a very brown undertone, which most of the times you want bronzers to have more of a red undertone, but some people don't like that. So, barely has any fallout. Blends beautifully, and it is a beautiful color on the skin. Love, love, love. And I'm just reviewing this real quick because I have not done that. And bronzer, is a great way to bring the color back into your skin and even everything out. Bronzer is not the same as contouring. Contouring, you're mimicking shadows and you're trying to normally make areas smaller or define them more. Whereas bronzer, we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to literally bring warmth, color back to the face. That's our whole goal with bronzer. And as you can see, just lightly brushing that on. Nothing crazy, nothing major. Just lightly brushing that on. And then I'm going to put this on my cheeks too. And blend that out very nicely. Very light blending. And like I said, when I'm doing my bronzer, I'm not, well, not like I said, because I ain't say this yet. I'm not wanting it to be defined. I know exactly where I need to place it, but I'm literally just bringing that warmth back into the skin. That's all I'm doing, y'all. Like, that's it. That's all I'm doing. I don't know why my neck looks so deep today, but whatever. And honestly, it is what it is. Like, making a video, and we're just gonna work it out. We're just gonna work it out. Next, I actually want to go in with highlighter. So the highlighter that I'm going to use is also going to be a pharmacy highlighter. This highlighter, I believe, it's a highlighter palette. I think this highlighter is, what is this? I think it might be like 20. However, as far as highlighters that I recommend at our drugstore, the Believe Beauty, this is the Dollar General brand. Definitely recommend this highlighter. I think it's like $5. Milani highlighters are really, really good. And I think that's mainly, Shein has good highlighters. And I say Shein as far as drugstore because Shein products are more drugstore. So I'm going to go in with this really brown shade here. It's a very pretty highlighter. So when I put it in the light, I mean, it is blinding. That's how I love my highlighter. And blush and highlighter are like my favorite parts out of all this. Because I don't know, excuse me. I just burped. It's just something about these two steps that I love. And I'm always looking for a good blush and a good highlighter. Now, mind you, all these products are powder. One thing that I have noticed is that powder products can be drying. They don't have to be, but they can be. But if you want something more skin-like, then liquid products are great for that. Don't be scared by liquid products. And I'm going to do like a full liquid product besides me using setting powder to set my face. But everything else would be liquidy. Would be liquid. The blush, highlighter, everything. Do I have any left on here? Yes. Go in with a little bit more. And I just did that just to blend everything out. I personally don't mind it when my highlighter is blinding because I love, love, love this highlighter. Like, it's gorgeous. Look at that. I mean, it's blinding you. The light is shining on it and it's blinding you. That's what we want. You feel me? You feel me? So we're almost done, literally. And I mean, the only reason why this is taking me so long is because I'm talking and giving instructions and stuff. I'm going to go back in with my setting powder because I'm going to put that. No, this is the bronzer powder. I need the setting powder. That's the blush. I need the setting powder. Yeah, the face perfecting press powder, whatever you want to call it. I need to use this for my eyebrows so that I can dry this area up a bit. Because my skin is very moisturized. And so if I try to put my eyebrow pencil on this, it's definitely going to smear. So I just put a little bit of setting powder, whatever, on it, just so it doesn't do that. And where is my... Here it is. So this is the Maybelline Total Temptation eyebrow pencil, and it looks like this. And I've reviewed this one already. I like to take a small... Actually, I'm going to use my pharmacy. No, I use this mirror. Just always make sure you have like a smaller mirror on you to help with stuff like this so you can really see what you're doing. Now, I learned the trick in the little online beauty school that I'm taking, or class that I'm taking, and that is to brush your eyebrows down first and then go over them with your pencil. Like get your tail, like start at your high point, bring and then your tail, and then go back in and brush everything out and fill them in as you go. And I've tried this trick already, and I tell y'all it works. So we brush them down. We're gonna go in with the high point and the tail first. And then we're going to brush it down. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to go back in and fill it in anyways. But the goal is to start with that and then go and brush everything back into place. Now your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So one is always going to look slightly off than the other, but it's okay. Everybody's eyebrows are like that. All right, so perfect, right? Looks really good. Now, this eyebrow is my problem child, and I know people be like, oh, why don't you start with the eyebrow that's the worst one? Because I do that, and then this one end up being the problem child. So I can't catch a break personally. So I've just been doing it this way. And yeah, this is how I'm going to keep doing it. When you're doing your eyebrows, you want to take nice, soft strokes. Turn your head in different angles so you can see what you're doing, especially when you're in light. If you're in light doing your eyebrows and it's shining on that area, you want to like move your face in different areas to make sure that the light is not mimicking, I guess you would say, like making it seem as if you don't have any product in that area when you do, but you can't tell because the light is bouncing off of it. So get you a little mirror so you can get up close to see what you're doing. Turn your head as best as you can. We're going to go ahead and brush this one in. So this is how they look so far. And they're definitely not too off. This one obviously needs a little more work. So I'm going to put it directly in my face so I can see exactly what I'm doing. And having lights do matter because good lighting will help you with your makeup for sure. You don't have to spend a fortune. I know Amazon's, like this mirror that I'm using has a light to it. But then I also have my ring light. And as you can see, my ring light makes everything look very yellow. Like, even if I get close, I feel like, nah, that looks more red. But my face, my undertones are yellow, so it makes everything look more yellow. However, in real life, it's not this yellow. I promise y'all it's not. However, having a light can really allow you to see what your makeup is going to look like, and you can clearly see what you're doing. Imagine doing this in the dark or just not having the best lighting. So as you can see, definitely off. However, like this end is definitely sharper, so I'm gonna fix this just a tad bit. It's too long. Like I said, sometimes my eyebrows do take me the longest. I mean, honestly, they'll do. I don't really like them, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna spend hours and minutes on them. And I'm still practicing my eyebrows, but for the most part, I think they're fine. This one definitely is a little bit longer than this one. Oh yeah, I did wipe this one off. Let me just go in slightly, ever so slightly. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's better. All right, so and with eyebrows, you just kind of have to go back and forth until you figure out what you want to do, and just do your best and take your time. And as long as you can walk away saying that they look good enough or that as good as they go get, as my friend Felicia would say, that's honestly all that matters. You feel me? You feel me? Okay. So now, actually, let me see if I can. Give me 1 second. I'm going to fix this lighting and I'm going to be right back. So as y'all can see, I changed the lighting, and as you can see, definitely matches more than it did before. So I apologize about that. I was like, my lighting last time was like way better than this, and everything definitely matched a lot more when I last recorded. But yeah, everything looks a whole lot better. So as y'all can see, everything looks neutral. Everything looks the same. And we can go ahead and move forward. So literally the only last thing that we need to do is three things we need to do. And that is, I need to put a little bit of, What did I do with my brush? Did I put it back? Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to see if I put my highlighter brush back, because I don't remember putting it back. Like, where's... Y'all, don't y'all hate when y'all just... There you go. It was right in front of my face all the time, and I knew that was going to happen. Like, okay, so I'm just going to put this here right up under my brow bone. I like to put my highlighter up under my brow bone. I like to put it on my nose. I like to put it on my forehead, but just lightly. Baby, my forehead already shine bright like a diamond. So, yeah, I don't need too much. And that's the thing with highlighter. I see people put it on their chin, right above their lip. You can put it wherever, you know, the best places that the light is going to hit off to give you like that nice, pretty, natural glow. You feel me? You feel me? Now, next is time for eyelashes. Eyelashes could take a minute too. The main tip that I can give you with eyelashes is, again, have a small mirror so you can look and really see what you're doing. And also apply the lash glue to your lash line and to your lashes. So that's two things. Also, wait for the glue to get tacky. What I mean by that is wait till the glue dries before you try to put them on. I was not doing that when I first put on eyelashes, and yeah. And I was wondering why they weren't sticking. And also, you can use, like, I know most people use hair glue. However, I use just like the duo glue, like this one, which I've already put that in the description box in my other video. And I love it because it comes with a brush, and the brush just makes it easy to apply, especially when I apply it along my lash line. All right, so that's one. So we're gonna let that dry for however long we need to let it dry. And when it comes to finding everyday eyelashes, it really depends on you, your job regulations and stuff like that. Being in the Air Force, we can't wear dramatic makeup. We can wear lashes, but they just have to look, you know, good, natural, and not dramatic. These, on the other hand, I don't personally think they're dramatic and uniform, but normally I either get my eyelashes done or I just have like my favorite pair of everyday lashes, and these are not my everyday lashes. I have to go buy me some more everyday lashes because I keep losing lashes. I'll take them off, not in here, and not put them back where they're supposed to be, and then forget about them. Yeah, I gotta get my life together. You feel me? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't do that. So then now we are going to go into our lash line. So just put it right above the lash line. And honestly, the reason why I like this glue so much is because it dries clear. So you don't have to be perfect with taking it across the lash line. If you were to use a black one, you definitely would have to be a little bit more careful. And yes, some of it's going to get on your lashes. It's fine. Oh, let me grab this. I don't know why I set this here. And then when we are doing our lashes, we do want to make sure we get like the ends, the very ends. Like, I want to get the very end of my eyelashes because, yeah. I'm going to go back and definitely put some glue on those because the ends of your eyelashes, like those corners, those are your problem children. You want to make sure you put a decent amount, or like you pay attention to that area, because that's your problem children, and that's your problem child. Well, problem children because it's too long. You can cut your lashes to fit your eye. I don't really care to cut my lashes. I like for my lashes to go across my whole eye. That's just me. However, when it comes to the inner corner, I don't put them there because they typically tend to irritate that area. But however, I don't know. I also still don't like to cut them. Where is... Okay, here it is. I was looking for my eyelashes. My mascara. Mascara I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Mini Brush Waterproof Mascara. Like I mentioned in my review of the products I'm going to be using in this video. And as far as blush, I know I mentioned I was going to use my Fit Me Blush, and those you can still buy those off Amazon and Walmart or your favorite drugstore. So those are still available, and the link to buy those and the place to buy those are still in the last video and the comment section below. The only products I'm going to add in this video are the ones that were not mentioned in the last video, which are basically going to be all the pharmacy products. All right, so whenever I do my eyelashes, I learned this trick to basically apply it kind of like in this direction, because this helps give them a lift more. And I love this brush because it gets where it needs to be. And don't be afraid to use your fingers when you're doing your makeup. Whether you're applying concealer, even some foundations, because some foundations, especially like tints, are just so good and just so blendable that you can easily apply them with your fingers. So don't ever be afraid to use your fingers. And your fingers are good anyway because they can fit into areas that certain applications can't. Or they could just provide pigment in areas that certain applicators can't, like, you know, your brushes and stuff like that. You gotta do the funny face. I've been making a lot of crazy faces in this video. And it doesn't take me this long, y'all. Just, you know, filming, doing my thing, talking. And yeah. And after this, I only have one more thing I need to do, which is just lips. And the great thing about doing a natural base or just a natural makeup look is that you now, because once I do everything, I can go with whatever lip color I want. Literally, whatever lip color I want. And I'm going to do that. I think I might do that in this video. So when it comes to applying your eyelashes, what I have found is the easiest is to like look up so you can really see your lash line. Let me see if I can do it on camera. Let me see. Let me see. Because you want to try to get it as close to your lash line as possible. And as far as putting them on with my hand, it depends. Because, okay, that looks good. It depends. Because I'll apply them with my hands, or I'll use a, tweezers. And the tweezers that I have, excuse me, I don't see it right now. Oh, wait, is that it? Because I have a couple sets of tweezers. These are one of the tweezers that I have is very sharp at the end. Be careful when you're using sharp tweezers. Do not poke your eye out. However, I prefer these with the sharp tips because I feel like they grab better. And I can be more precise into exactly where I want to press my, exactly where I want to put my, eyelashes. I freaking knocked down my brushes, but it's fine. Just picking those up. So if I knock down my camera by accident, apologies in advance. And when you're doing this stuff, you just got to be your real you. I'm clumsy. I'm knocking stuff down all the time. Makeup, no matter what I'm doing. So same thing. Now I will say the issue that I run across is that I got to try to get, like, try to put them as closely exactly as how I should. Your everything is sisters, not twins. So everything ain't gonna look exactly the same, but the goal is to get it to look the same as much as possible. Now this one is gonna be the problem, child. All right, I'm gonna look in this mirror just to make sure that I really got it close to my lash line. And then you do want to just gently push them in. So I'm going to have to let me make sure. Yeah, because this one's like too far up in the front, which is fine. I just take it off lightly. Then I stick it back on because it's still tacky because of the glue I put on earlier. Trying until I get it. So y'all just bear with me for a second. And honestly, when it comes to doing my eyelashes in the morning, if I have time to play around with them, I will. If not, I just put on mascara and go. think that those. All right, so I'm gonna let this one dry for a bit. I may have to go in with more glue right at the ends, but I'm gonna let it dry for a bit before I press them together. But this is how they look. So now, and of course you do not need eyelashes this big if that's what you don't prefer. I love big eyelashes, and I love, excuse me, the smaller natural ones. So then now I'm gonna go in with my lips. So for lips, sorry about that, y'all, I'm gonna use just a very natural color. And this is Maybelline. So a lot of Maybelline products. Maybelline New York Gloss has hyaluronic acid in it. Hyaluronic acid is actually really good for retaining moisture. And this is in the color Silk. And these are like $5. They're not expensive at all. So you can see a very nude. Very nude. Very. And I'm going to press in my mascara now that I've let it sit for a second. And that's why I like having big eyelashes, because like, even if you don't like, even if it's like a mistake or something, you can hide it with big eyelashes. You really can. All right. Just want to make sure that my eyelashes look as good, and they're about as good as they're going to get. Obviously, you can tell this one probably could be pushed over a little bit more, but I don't know. Like, when I do this, sometimes it's kind of confusing. Let me see. I don't want to mess with them, but definitely going to see if I can. All right, I think they're fine. This is as good as they're gonna get. I think they look good. Now, remember when I had mentioned earlier that I might go in with the color? Still gonna be nude for all my people that want more of a nude face. I'm gonna go in with my Milani brown. This is the more matte, and the color Covet. Just a very brown color, and that's a great thing when you're doing like a very basic makeup look. The great thing about it is when it comes to lip colors and stuff like that, you can really use whatever lip color you want, and it makes it pop more because that's literally the only color that's on your face. So and then when it comes to doing your lips, it just takes time. Have to take your time, be careful, don't rush it. Try to use the applicator and be precise as best as you can. And use a mirror to get it really close in those places that you can't see far back. And like I said, this is drugstore. This is Milani. These cost, I want to say, maybe anywhere between 8 to 10. The formula used to be very dry, but Milani's gotten better. Oh, and it definitely added something to this look. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to put on my setting spray, and then we done, y'all. We done. And trust me, it do not take me this long to put on my makeup. But between talking and I got time to make mistakes and really get stuff right as much as I possibly can, this is the final makeup look. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about this at all. I think everything came out good. I may go in with a little bit. Let me see if I can get here. All right. But yeah, everything turned out. I think everything looks great. My color matches well. We neutralized that yellow tone with a deeper toned setting powder so that we can get everything to match as much as possible. And yeah, but thank y'all for watching. I enjoyed doing this video. God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.